Hello everyone, Gardiken here, and today I'm going to be showing you my Seal Dragon deck. Yeah, that's right, Pokemon sleeves on a Vanguard deck. I don't care, screw the system. But anyway, starting unit is Seal Dragon Terrycloth. Counterblast one Seal Dragon and put the unit into your soul, well, him anyway, and you get to destroy any one of your opponent's rear yards. And what they do after that is they look at the top 4 cards of their deck for a grade 2 and superior call it to any rear guard. Now, even if they don't get the grade 2, it's really nice because usually it's going to be a bunch of triggers. And speaking of triggers, let's move on to those. For Seal Dragon Biella, the critical. For Seal Dragon Artpique, the draw. For Seal Dragon Shirting, the heal. And for Seal Dragon Dobby, the stand trigger. Now, before you guys even say anything, it's pronounced Dobby because if you'd paid attention to the Harry Potter movies, that's how they say it there. And don't even start about how it was a mispronunciation because if it was, J.K. Rowling would have been all over their ass on it. And when he came back in, I think, the 5th movie or something, they would have pronounced it Dobby there. But they kept it Dobby, so Dobby, deal with it. Alright. Moving on to grade 1s. I play one Seal Dragon Chambray. Now, later on I'll explain what I might do to modify this deck later in the future. But, and talk about him more. But basically this guy is just Soul Blast one card when he boosts Blockade or Blockade Inferno to give it 6,000. It's just a basic 10k cross-ride booster. For Seal Dragon Kersey, when he's played, if your opponent has a grade 2, you can discard and draw, kind of like Gojo, but better. For Seal Dragon Flannel, it's the same as K, but for the Seal Dragons, when he attacks, he gets +3 and goes to a 10k. And for Perfect Guards, Seal Dragon Rinocross. I just don't have the other 3, but Dusk sort of owes me 1, and then I don't know what I'm going to do for the other 2. Probably Dwayne and Dusk again, or some other friends. But yeah, that's it. Grade 2s. 4 Seal Dragon Hunger Hell Dragon. Yeah, he's so much of a dragon they had to say it twice. 4 Seal Dragon Corduroy. Same thing as Terrycloth, Counterblast one Seal Dragon, destroy any grade 1, or no, destroy any rear guard. But instead of putting him into your soul, he just stays out on rear guard to be at 9. It's kind of nice. And yeah, they look at the top 4 again for a grade 2 and call it. And 4 Seal Dragon Jacquard. I really don't know how to pronounce that. Jacquard. Anyway, he's the same thing as Bedivere. When he swings, if you got a Seal Dragon, he goes to being a 12. Pretty basic deck so far. All Seal Dragons, except I play 2 Dauntless. And I'm going to be taking out these next 2 cards for 2 more Dauntless. Regular Blockade, the triple rare version from set 2, way back. But, yeah. Blockade is kind of nice, though, to have still, because he stops your opponent from intercepting with the grade 2s that he's got so many of on the field by now, if you've been getting lucky with Terrycloth and Corduroy. My bad, I'm just kind of spacing out. Yeah, so stops him from intercepting with these 2 here if he's got 1 here and 1 here, but he's not really all that needed anymore because of this guy, but he helps a little still. And 4 Hellfire Seal Dragon Blockade Inferno. Now, what Inferno does is really nice because you counterblast 3 Seal Dragons. That's why I've got all Seal Dragons, basically. But what he does is counterblast 3, it's a limit break. You destroy all of your opponent's grade 2s, all of them, so that's a maximum of 5. And he gains 10,000 power. Now, even if your opponent doesn't have any grade 2s on the field, you would still get the 10,000. So if you break ride, you're going to be swinging for a minimum of 31 if you do that. And then if you play the 10k booster Chambray back here, it'll be swinging just Soul Blast, and he'll be swinging for freaking 41. It's really, really nice to have that power. So even if they do perfect guard it and you just rip a trigger, hey, just give it over here to something, and maybe then they won't be able to block that even. But yeah, like I said, I would talk about some of the modifications I would make. First thing I would do is take out Terrycloth for Conroe. Now, we all know Conroe sucks because Dust won't quit harping about it, but he's kind of good anyway. Because with him, I would be able to get out Chambray a lot easier since I just play 1, and that would help me get the 10k boost a lot easier. Second modification I would make would be take out Dobby for 4 more regular Cairo crit. Now, I'm only hesitant about that because it'll be 4 less Steel Dragons, and it'll be a lot harder to get off his effect. And the other modification I would make would be to take out Flannel for 4 bar. Now, again, I'm also hesitant on this because he's a 7 boost, which is okay, but a lot of times you want to be swinging for at least 20 or even 21. And with Flannel, that's almost impossible to do. In fact, it is impossible to do in this deck. So I got him behind a Vanguard, and he swings for like 20. And yeah, that was my cat, if you heard that meowing. Anyway, I'm only hesitant on that because if I do that, it'll be a total of 10 non-Steel Dragons in the deck, and this deck focuses mainly on counterblasting Steel Dragons, especially for Inferno. Now, if I take out Steel Dragons, that'll just make it harder and harder to get those extra effects of the Blockade and the Grade 2 destruction, but this deck is really pretty great even with this. You just gotta know how to use the stands and Flannel, and you should be pretty good, actually. And that's what I'm striving to do. But it doesn't always work out, but again, it's Vanguard. You win some, you lose some, just like with any game. But yeah, that's the Steel Dragons, and goodbye.